guys, what's going on? Good morning. So, doing a live video right now at the hospital. It's New Year's Day. It's January 1st, 2023. And here at the hospital right now, got my coffee. And I wanted to talk to you today about a couple of things. I know there's nobody coming on here yet, but I want to go ahead and just get started talking so it's not too much dead space. Typically when you go on a live video or someone does live and they're waiting for people to come on, people will watch this later on, and that's awesome. So we're going to get straight to it. There's two things I wanted to talk about, and that is, and ask any questions at any time. I'll stop and pause or ask any questions, and we'll go different directions, but I'll try to remain on topic. So the two things I want to talk to you about are going to be I just lost my train of thought for a second because I saw a big semi truck with someone waving their hand. Let me turn this way so I can not look out the window and stay focused. Okay, so the two things I want to talk about is going to be first healing, and also the process of understanding your pain. So understanding your pain, and it doesn't have to be in those two orders. Well, first we have to understand our pain, and then first that really does have to come first, and then the healing. So understanding the pain that you have. Well, first we typically look at the pain as a surface, the surface pain. What is happening in our current moment in time? How did we typically get to this moment? I met this girl. She cheated on me. She took my kids, and now I'm in this divorce, or whatever you found this video to be. If you found, hey, I got into an accident, I lost a leg, or I got into an accident at work and I lost a couple legs, and now my whole life has changed, and it's hard for me to feed myself, and I need assistance, and I don't have any family or anyone to help me. What am I going to do now? And so, your life could change in any moment. Any stress or any trauma could happen to us. So what happens during that time is we typically look at the situation that we're in at that current moment, okay? And we say that this happened to me and I'm hurting because of this. We don't typically fully try to understand it on a deeper level. Why? There's two things. How did I end up getting there? What are the events that led up to that particular situation? Because it typically is some things that you could have corrected. You could have corrected, or you could have maybe go back in time at that one particular moment you made the decision to not go this way, or not say this, or not do that. That led to the next step, the next level of you getting to that trauma situation, or that destination where everything went wrong. So we have to look at how we got there, and that will help us with deeper understanding. Again, if you're just coming in, I want to say hello. I'm going to do a live video. We're going to hit on two topics, but ask me any questions at any time. First is understanding, and also on how to heal. So the understanding portion of it is first, how did we end up getting to that particular situation? What are the steps that led up to that? When you have, hey Bradsif, good to see you, man. I want to read this message here. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there is a lot of things that this is a perfect example. I mean, anything that led us to our traumatic situation or our difficult moment in life, we can look at it as the things that stressed us, um, the thing that stressed us the most, or the trauma situation, the situation that you're in, for example, Bradsif. Um, what are the things that led up to that? And you tell yourself, I had a normal family life and normal family upbringing, And many times it's something that we didn't do. We just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Hey, buddy, your videos are so helpful. Hey, Moeth, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Happy New Year's to you guys. Brad Sif, Happy New Year's. Motsef, Happy New Year's. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I want you to remember sometimes it's something that you didn't do. Many times it could be something that you did or the things that you did that led up to that situation. And maybe you had a healthy family life and you did all the right choices. You had a good family support system, a healthy family upbringing, and it's not you. Many times it could be the other person and what went on in their life. But how can now we come to the point where we hit these crossroads where we're having this situation. For example, in your case, we're dealing with family courts and now we're fighting to see my family. And I've been there, Brad, so if I do know. Um, it's it's heartbreaking. No one will understand the pain because as men we have to stand at the podium of of masculinity and strength and support and then you feel like the whole rug of your manhood has been ripped from under you. And it's and I want to make it very clear, this is why you need to keep your head up, because it is not you. It's the system. Many times it is the system. It is designed to do this to anyone that falls victim to that particular situation. Now, Now, going back to when you have, after a separation, I feel like I miss my wife a lot. I think of both of us. I want recognition. So it's so lonely, not sure my wife purchased. Well, that's very important too. That's a decision that maybe you can think about. And going to Bratzif and Moth, that's a decision that you made to move. You guys were having difficulties, I'm sure, and that's what led you to live on your own, um, and want to be alone and stuff. And now you guys both want reconciliation. If you feel in your heart of hearts that you want reconciliation with with um, with your wife or your ex-wife, I'm sure you guys are still, seeing each other. If you know that in your heart of hearts, then go for it. That's something I would never want for anyone, is to be alone. And I would never deter you from going back to your wife. If you've had problems and you feel it in your heart of hearts, you know this, and she spoke it. She's making action towards it, of reconciliation, and you know that that is the right thing to do. And that's what you truly want for yourself as well too. You do have to take a really good step back before you make the other decision, because look at what led us to making these wrong decisions in the first place. So take another step back. Don't just continue to the same practices of your thought process and making the next decision in life. For example, if you're fighting for your kids or family, or to have a family and your loved ones, or for Moed's situation, if you're possibly wanting to reconcile everything, um, let's not make the same mistakes twice, guys. And you're not a bad person if you want to reconcile. You're not a bad person if you need to fight a little harder in the court. You're not a bad person, but you have to take an extra. This time, we have to take those extra steps back, and we have to really evaluate our thinking. Is it going to question yourself? Because nobody else is going to question you, and making sure that you are making the right decisions and taking inventory of your thoughts. No one is going to do that. They're just sitting and waiting for you to make the wrong decision. So you have to be the leader of your decision making in here. You have to take this extra step back and really think about it. Be gentle with yourself. You've been through way too much. And be gentle and be patient with yourself. No one's ever given you patience, especially men, right? Hurry up. Do this, do that. Did you get this done yet? Are the bills paid? Are you providing? Are you protecting? Are you being a good man? Are you being a good supporter or a good father? There's always this sense of urgency for us to be great in our role of being men, fathers, you know, in what we do in the home. But give yourself some patience, because no one is going to give you um, patience, and you have to give yourself patience in making these decisions for yourself. You're not going to make the right decision if you have to do it just off the whim and just quick decision. It doesn't work for everyone. For my wife and child, it's been great seeing you. So that is wonderful. That's wonderful. It sounds like reconciliation is the way to go. That's great. You guys have taken a step back, and sometimes that step back, your videos of missing a girl got to me so much. Are things better for you now? Thank you for asking. They are better for me now, yes. I think many of the people on my channel have found my videos based off of one of my very first earlier videos of depression, from missing our children. I think I entitled it that, Depression from Missing Our Children. And I was in the dark spot in that moment, and I decided to make this video, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I speak publicly about it. I put it on YouTube. I speak to people about it. I don't know how much people believe me about it or not, but I had come to terms with a lot of thought process and a lot of thinking. I come to terms with ending my life at that moment. And I said to myself, I need to make a video and I need to talk about this, because when I'm dead, I want my daughter to see the reason why I ended up killing myself. I don't want her to think that I did not try or did not give up. And so I was kind of secretly saving these videos, and I had her name on it, and I was gonna post them up publicly just in case it didn't get to her, and I just wanted someone to kind of share this with her when she got older. Going back to to answer your question, I'm doing a lot better. I did go through a very, very dark time. It was really, really hard. I've had this huge motivation to want to get back up and survive and not give up on my child, because I knew she needed me. I wanted to say, I can do this on my own. I can be alone. I'm okay. And you can, to a certain level, you can be okay alone. But you do need somebody. You do need someone to love, and for nurturing and togetherness and connection and bonding. We're human beings. I mean, ants bump shoulders. We need to bump shoulders too. So I went through that time of being self-motivated in the beginning, and then I realized everything was kind of being taken from me through the court system, and I completely went full on. Damn, homie. Uh, Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, thank you, Pinky. Hey, how are you doing, guys? I love all you guys. Happy New Year's to you guys. Thanks for coming in. But yes, it does. It does. I'm definitely not there anymore. Definitely 100% not there anymore. Pinky, thank you for asking or mentioning that. And you're absolutely right. You do have to check yourself. You have to really, really check yourself in that thinking. And I dabbled in that thought process for a long time, and I came to that conclusion that I wanted to, and I was completely there. And then I started making the videos, because I said it's time for me to send my message before I leave. And with that in me, that thought in me to want to commit suicide or ending it or just giving up on life, living with that was toxic. It was poison. It was killing me day in, day out. And even in my motivation, I could not. Now, your daughter needs you as well. Yes, exactly. I know she does, man. And so I'm definitely not there anymore, guys. 100% not there. And I'm so grateful. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, Pinky. Thank you. Bless you guys. And And then when I want to get back on track with the questions, some of the things I said in that earlier video, it was when I was in that dark space to just kind of move forward again. I was I had went through homelessness for a short amount of time. I only could make so much and can dish out so much. And I was homeless, I want to say, for right after my divorce, I was homeless for a good month, almost 2 months, a little less than 2 months. And then after that, I got a place. And it was funny, the apartment I was going to move into that ended up, I ended up being homeless for about a month and a half. The apartment I was going to move into was so roach infested and it was so run down. And it was almost like a higher power was talking to me. It was that I went to go see the place and they said, we, we can't move you in right now because uh, a tree had fell on this apartment complex, and the tree had fell right onto the edge of the living room and put a massive hole into my living room that I was going to move into. And it was almost like it was like a higher power saying, no, you're not going to make permanent residency here. Um, and just everything in my life, people, family, friends, even my ex-wife, even my daughter was telling me, to move back to California, move back to California. Like, you love California, Daddy. I love California. Eventually, I want to live there too, Daddy. And all these things. When it came from my daughter's mouth that she would eventually want to live in California and move back to California, that was like the massive push for me to move back to California, which was my home. And I was literally not sleeping in the streets, but I was sleeping in my car. Um, I was sleeping in my car, in my Scion XB I slept in, and then and I slept in the back. It was very, very uncomfortable. I never slept at anyone's house because I didn't have any support system in Atlanta, Georgia, and Atlanta, Georgia is really different. They're not really, um, it's really different over there. But after the tree had fell into the house side, I was like, dang man, I'm not gonna have a place to stay. And then they called me and they said, we're gonna move you over to this other place. We're really sorry this happened, and we're gonna give you this other room, and you're actually gonna get the same rent, and you're gonna get an extra bedroom. It's gonna be 2 bedrooms. And I was like, oh, this is awesome, great. My daughter's gonna have her own very own room. And then I went to go over there to go get the keys to go move in. This was like a few days later. You won't believe this. A child had got murdered by the poolside, like a day or the day before. And I went over there and it was all like policed off and everything. They had shut the entire apartment complex down and there was an investigation. And I was like, yeah, man. And I was like, dang. And that's when I said, they said, we're not taking anyone. And we're really sorry. You're going to have to go find a new place. We're sorry. Everyone's being investigated that works here. Everyone, people that live here. We can't. We're really, really sorry. And I didn't end up moving into that place. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there is a lot in ATL for sure, man, compared to LA. There's a lot, like all over the place. There's more trees than people, I think. And and I and I said, dude, I remember going back to my car, crying and saying, God, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? And I didn't even believe in God or any like spirit or any religion or anything like that. I was just begging for like some type of help. What are you doing to me? And I'm sitting in my car crying like, how could this be happening? Like everything in my life is being lost. I don't have a place to live. It's like you don't want to give me a place to live. What are you doing to me? Looking back now, I see he wanted me to move back to California. I really believe that in my heart of hearts. He was saying, no, you're not going to make permanent residency here. You're not going to make residency here. You're going to move back. And and then and then when I moved back here, um, a lot of other bad things happened. My mom died um, on my way back here. I mean, like the first day I got back here, um, uh, it just I had to make rent within 30 days. I took over my mom's apartment. I had no job within Within 3 days, I had a job. By the second week, I had 2 jobs. And by the third week, I had 3 jobs. And by the fourth week, I made rent. Um, and I was literally working 3 different locations. And my first 2 paychecks, I made rent just enough. And then, guys, here's like really the power of your thoughts. I want to share something with you. Sometimes I talk to you guys about this on videos, and I really lose you guys. But you guys really, really got to hear me on this. I definitely was in your place where I don't believe any of that hoopla and stuff like that. I don't. But you guys, this is a lot of other things. I just could not stop denying the fact that your power of your thoughts and your words are so freaking powerful, you guys. You have to speak life into you. If you are going through that difficult time, like you're going through the court battles and trying to fight your family, you have to speak and think perfectly exactly what you want out of that whole process, exactly the way you wish it to be. You have to go through that grind of that court system, but you have to speak, think, and act towards exactly to what you want, and the outcome will happen. Um, when we are in the darkest space and at that moment, when we're going through those difficulties, all we can think about is, fuck, how do we get here? How did I can't believe this. I can't believe the lawyer said that. I can't believe this. I can't believe this, you know. Is renew important from your perspective. Gisli, hey, happy New Year, brother. I hope you guys are doing good. Can you elaborate what prenup is what you're talking about? I know what you mean. Is a prenup important from your perspective? Um, you need to go further than a prenup now, guys. You do need to go further than a prenup, and you need to get something um, documented through a lawyer stating that there is no possible way that that person can have any of your assets or property. Um, if you are wealthy, and I don't knock anybody that has uh, wealth or assets or property or businesses, I do not knock you 100%. If you need to protect yours, protect what you got, guys. Protect what you got, because you are men. You have worked hard. You sweat and bled for what you have and earned, and that's rightfully yours, and no one should take it. And I'm a firm believer on protecting what is yours, especially, you know. But then on the other side of things, if you're already going through the the court battle, if you're already going through those difficulties, you cannot, you can't, you can't be so. And it goes back to what I was just saying right now. You can't be so um, lost in the thought of angry. Oh my God, I can't believe this happened to me, and I'm gonna lose this, and I'm gonna lose that. Sending love, my friend. Is there a true person for me to love and fall in love with? Yes, yes, there is. And that is a great, great question. I want to interrupt a lot of whatever we're saying here. I don't know how to move on from all I have known 15 years. I'm 30. It feels like I died the day it happened. Oh, Bradsiff, that is so important. I know you put 15 years of your life into this family, but you're at 30 years old, brother. You have a massive lifetime ahead of you. The average life expectancy is around 80 years. Brother, you got, like, let's say for example, you have 50 more years left. And you feel like yes, you do feel like you died. And let me explain something to you about that. A part of you must die for a new part of your spirit to be reborn again. That is so, so important to understand that. You don't want to kill off all of the good, healthy memories that you have of your family and love. We're not talking about that. But we're talking about this broken part of you. This part is broken. This piece of the family broke off of you. right? It hurts. You're going through this difficulty. It's hard to see the kids. It's hard that pain, that pain, do not attach it to the kids. Do not attach it to her. Do not attach it. See, you own this pain, right? It's yours, right? So anything you attach it to, you're responsible for through the pain. So you must fully accept and own the pain. You're in full control. And then you must release it. Put it down. It's like a physical object. But how can I do that? Internally in my emotions, in my mind, how do I do that? How do I put it down and release it? It's all in your thoughts. And you're like, well, it's so easier said than done. Guys, have you really sat down with yourself in front of the mirror and really said this to yourself? I am going to be stronger. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to survive and I will thrive. I am a man and nothing will bring me down. Nothing will take this from me. I am in my flesh. They cannot take my bones and my muscles. They cannot take the character of a person that I am and who I represent. You can take all of my possessions and everything from me, but you cannot take the man that's in here. And you really, really have to believe in yourself. I want to go back to answering the other question about, will I find love again? 100% you will find love again. And this is the quickest, short answer to that question. You will only find love. You will only find love to the full capacity that you love yourself. As much as you express love internally is the same love you will receive externally. There is no other way to spin those words, guys. That's exactly the way it's going to be. And I mean, you have to fully love yourself so much. You have to be in love with yourself. You have to look at your hands and be like, I've built so much, I've gone through so much, I love my fucking self so much. I take care of myself, work out. When you go into the gym, when you're drinking water, when you're eating healthy foods, look at that food and I know that I'm loving myself with this right now. I'm nurturing myself with this. I'm in love at every angle, guys. I mean, you have to be in deep, deep love. And when that type of energy that you cultivate within your world, I know this is love and nurturing for me. I know this is love and nurturing for me. I know this is love and nurturing for me. When you cultivate that and you're pursuing love from within, you receive love outside. It just comes to you. It's that natural energy will attach. The natural energy that you have from within you, you will attach to those things outside of you. Let's see here. What caused your breakup in the first place, if you don't mind me asking? Yes, I'll answer. It feels if I ever got with anyone else or a date, it's like I'm turning my back on my family. It's an internal fight to convince myself. Would you agree? And is that important anyway? Dropping off from college. Very good questions. Thank you for asking all these questions. Let's start with the top. What caused my breakup in the first place? My reason I caught my first breakup, if I look at it, what caused my breakup in the first place, when I look back at it now with more wisdom, was me putting too much energy and focus on my business and not enough tension on my wife. All the other thing as well too, when I look at it from her vantage point, she just wanted an American baby. She wanted a male. She wanted a boy. And when we ended up having a daughter, a little girl, her mom hated me, and then her mom just started like the constant attacks. Her mom was constantly attacking me at every corner, and then her mom convinced her enough to get rid of me, and they wanted a boy. They wanted a boy really bad, and they're Asian. The mom was probably the the pinnacle, the the reason for all of our fights. The answer to the next question, it feels if I ever got with anyone else I went on a date, it's like I'm turning my back on my family. It's an internal fight to convince myself. Bradsif, this is really important. Bradsif, please listen to me. Um, I'm answering your question right now, Bradsif. I went through this, and many, many men I talk to go through this. It's the guilt. It's the guilt because our child is not there for us to deliver the love that naturally comes from us. Okay, and it's love, however it is, whether it be for a child, a woman, or whatever it is, it's love coming out of us. And if we cannot deliver it to what we are naturally connected to, our children, we feel guilty giving it to others, right? Now, here's the thing. With with that, you have to you have you're feeling guilt, and you have to let go of that guilt. You have to, when you're with your children or talking to your children, fully be engaged with them 100% more than you ever imagined before. I bet you, if I really analyzed what you guys are, when you're speaking to your children or engaged with your children, you're not fully engaged with them in their every thinking, moving, and thought process, and really, really focused in on them. I bet you there's other things that are constantly getting our attention. And when they fully feel you there and you're loving them, you'll you'll start to see a different side of them. The bond will begin to grow. The connection grows. When they feel your love like that, you're basically losing my thought process here. Um, when they feel your love, they'll know that you're a connection of love. You're a beacon of light of love for them, and that'll always be there. That will never break. Don't ever feel guilty. Explore, find a new love, go on dates. You need to treat yourself better. You need to be better to yourself. You deserve to have somebody there. You deserve that. Don't ever feel like you're feeling guilty of sharing your time. But I want you to attach the word of like love. Maybe this is not you. Maybe this is just me. I'm gonna speak from my experience. I love everybody. I'll fall in love really easily, and I had to learn not to, because I would fall in love with this girl, and I would just meet them. And you have to, because we're so vulnerable, guys, because you're so hurt, your hearts are so hurt from all this experience. You are, whether you like to think it or not, or admit it or not, we're desperate to attach yourself to something that can care for us because we're so vulnerable in our pain. So we end up thinking it's love, but we're seeking out comfort from our pain. And then we think it's love and we call it love. And that's the same mistake I did. And then the woman will be pushed off by you. They'll be kind of like, they don't want to talk to you. They don't want to hear that. I want to see the other question here. Um, but Bradsif, do not feel guilty. Treat yourself. Have fun. But do it with a healthy mindset and make it very clear where you stand as a man in your morals and in your values. Now that you've experienced all of this and you learn a little bit more about yourself, hold yourself to a higher standard and a higher value, and expect that from the women and expect nothing less. When a woman sees that in you, when you're going on these dates, they're gonna always look up to you and see you as a higher value. It's the way you see yourself is the way you're gonna dictate the way they see you. Gisley, did you get a college degree in this important? Anyway, more men are dropping out of college. No, I ended up going to junior college. I did not get a full-on college degree. I know my mom. I know my mom. Let me just tell you, the beginning of my life was filled with a bunch of drug addicts surround me, a lot of toxic people, and the violence, um, and domestic violence, and um, and my mom specifically told me I was not loved at all. She did the best she could, but she hated me. She hated my guts. And my mom specifically told me, "You're not going to college. Don't ever think about it. As soon as you're done with high school, you need to get a job because I don't want to help you anymore. You need to get a job." And she was right. She kicked me out at 17 when I was coming back from my college classroom, and I was getting ready for my wrestling practice. I was doing all the right things. I was working, going to school, playing sports, and my mom kicked me out because she had drug addicts come in the house. Um, that was what happened. But I feel that you don't need to be in college to go through this. Yeah, go through this shit. Yeah, yeah, Pinky. Pinky, you know what? I love your attitude, brother. You got a straightforward, no bullshit attitude. College. HVAC is awesome. HVAC is really good work. That's one thing I always thought, man, I should get back to get into HVAC work. That's really, really good money. Plumbing, HVAC, those type of skilled labor jobs, they're going to be really, really important moving into this next whole realm of the universe that we're moving into. Those are going to be very, very good. When I started working, my baby's mother alienated me after calling me a bum. Makes no sense since we were never married. I have no rights. Yeah, virtue of value. That is really, really important. Hey guys, I'm going to do a quick pause real quick. Are you on lunch now?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Finish up.
No? Okay. So I just wanted to introduce you guys to somebody. We're gonna do this video. I'm gonna get back to you in about 30 minutes, and we're gonna finish off. If you guys come back, please come back and let's talk some more. If you guys don't, that's okay. Hey, your channel is important, man. Virtue of value. I love you, brother. Thank you. And I remember your first messages to me, and they mean a lot to me. Thank you. Welcome to my world. Yeah, well, Pinky, I love you, buddy. Stay strong, brother. Hopefully I can fit into... You definitely will. You definitely will. 100%. Guys, I want to introduce you to somebody real quick. Come here. This is one of my heroes. She's a nurse. Her name is Michelle. This is Michelle. Say hello.
Hi.
Hi. And I'll be back in about 30 minutes, and we're gonna have lunch together, and I will talk a little bit more to you guys later. I love you guys with all my heart. Stay strong. I mean every word I said, and every word I said to you, I've said to her, and she's sitting right here. She said, they say hi. They're saying hello. And every word I've said to you guys, I've said to her, and she watches my videos. I practice what I preach, and so I just want to let you know. Have fun, man. Hey, I love you guys. Stay strong, okay? I'll see you guys in about 30 minutes. Take care. Bye-bye.
Is there a lot of people live with you right now?